I can't believe we only have one semester left. I mean, like, what are we going to do after we graduate?
Oh, I actually have no idea. All the hosting jobs I applied to said I had poor grammar and had too much passion.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Do you have a backup plan?
Well, actually, hosting was my backup plan. My plan A is jaywalk.
Oh. What is
Yeah, thank you for asking. So it's actually my streetwear brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you like to try a shirt on? I actually have some right here. They're all custom made in European sizes. You're like a 31.
Yeah, sure. I would love to. Let's do it.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like Polly D would love this.
Oh, I'd love it if Pauly D wore one of my shirts. Anyway, what about you? Do you have any post-grad plans?
Well, thank you so much for asking. I've actually been really into the idea of influencing.
Ooh, influencing. Yeah, you'd be really good at that. Remember there was that one time where you influenced me to break up with my girlfriend because I didn't like the way she dressed?
Yeah, but like that's not it. I'm talking about like influencing on IG. I can make anywhere between $200 and like $400 per post, and not to brag or anything, but I already have Armenian watch companies asking to collab with me.
Dang, so it sounds like we both have really solid post-grad plans.
I think so.
Yo.
Hey guys, I know we're all looking for that like fun celebrity twist in our lives, but like don't know how to get it. That's why I use Celebrity Box. It's a monthly subscription box that allows you to get used C and D-list celebrity items. Use my code AVA10 for 10% off your first order. This month, I got Gary Busey's used Amazon Fire Stick. Again, use my code AVA10 for 10% off your first order. Swipe up now.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Just caught me in the middle of a creative session / dream time. As you can see, I'm pretty hard at work. Yeah, it's pretty good. And up here, we actually have the mock-ups for the Spring 2020 Jaywalk collection. It's pretty dope, right?
These, suck.
Okay, well, it's not about how they look, okay? It's about the vibes and how they flow with the wearer's energy, okay? You just don't understand vibes. They're not just a part of fashion, okay? They are fashion. And your vibes are all wrong. They're ugly and hideous and stupid. So why don't you just get out of here? Be gone, you pesky little cameraman. I'm working.
So how did it go?
Oh, well, I sent the samples to my Paris investors, and they pulled their money. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How about you?
I actually sold Farrah Fawcett's old hairspray, and I got a letter from my boss.
Mm-hmm.
He was charged with grave robbing.
Maybe we could go to grad school?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, all right, cool, great.
Jay Thatchett!
Hey! Hello! Welcome to Temple Tonight. Welcome to our Season 10 premiere. Oh, thank you for being here. Special thanks to my co-host, Ava Sullivan. We're going to take a look at what's going on in the news up top. So, since our last episode, the country has been consumed with the impeachment trial. Senator Susan Collins of Maine voted to acquit Trump in his impeachment trial despite calling his conduct wrong. Immediately afterwards, she was seen handing a mouse a cookie and was overheard muttering, "Gosh, I shouldn't be doing this." Over in environmental news, new research suggests that solar panels could soon be able to generate power at night. In capitalist America, even the sun has to work nights. In Super Bowl news, a Cincinnati Zoo hippo correctly predicted that Kansas City would win the Super Bowl by vomiting on a Chiefs helmet. That is true. I'm not making that up. The zoo has since received a record number of visitors, begging the hippo to vomit on lottery tickets, college applications, and pictures of their favorite Bachelor contestants. And speaking of the big game, Andy Reid said that he will visit the White House if asked. Pretty cool. I guess the quarter pounder really is the caviar of the Midwest. And some more political news, Pete Buttigieg prematurely claimed victory in the 2020 Iowa caucuses prior to the official release of the results. But it is slightly suspicious since Buttigieg invested almost $40 million into the app that counted the votes. It makes me wonder what would happen if I invested in Tinder. And some more Super Bowl stuff. Baby Mr. Peanut made his debut during this year's Super Bowl 2020. He was, however, soon found tied up in the back of Baby Yoda's sand racer. Competition like not Baby Yoda. That was terrible. I'm very sorry. And at the San Antonio Zoo, you can actually pay $25 to have a rat named after your ex and fed to a snake on Valentine's Day. Personally, I'm not going to be doing it because I'm a mature adult, and also because crying alone is free. The world's worst cat has been adopted. Pretty crazy. And guess what? It still sucks. Yeah. And finally, a 67-year-old kayaker was pulled out of the water in the Everglades after authorities found his phone on the shore. Unfortunately, he was too small, so they threw him back. All right, well, that's all the news we can handle right now, so we'll be right back with some more Templeton Tonight. Welcome back, everybody. Now, as some of you may know, Ava and I used to share the stage with a house band.
But sadly, our house band is no longer with us. They're not dead, they just graduated.
No, they're all doing great. But we did ask our audience for some suggestions for what we should fill the space with. So here's some of our favorites. At Chicken Corbin Blue said install 1/8 of an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
At Living with Mom suggested rent the space to tenants.
Oh yeah, we can make some bank. At Mrs. Future Thatchett 99. Oh, DM me, please. They said to add a second desk for Ava to sit at.
Or just add a second desk for display because Ava is actually quite comfortable on the couch.
At Free Gritty said ball pit.
Where are we going to get a ball pit?
Oh, well, I'll just have the writers steal one from Chuck E. Cheese and then transfer to the studio ball by ball.
Ah, okay. At Joey1278495736289 we're gonna skip the handles.
Sure.
They suggested, how about a fully operational Wendy's?
Oh yeah. Or an effigy of Jimmy Fallon to be burned at the end of each episode.
Jay, did you write that one yourself?
No, I definitely didn't. Next one is just a lone accordionist.
Okay. What do you think about an open mic space for the writers?
I don't know. I've heard their slam poetry. I think it's a bad idea. How about this one? A lemonade stand where profits go to St. Jude's, or don't, depending on how I feel that day.
How generous.
Yeah, I try. I try.
Or we could do a spot for your hermit crab, Hermie.
Oh, yeah. You know, he's 10 years old, but he told me he'd love to be a part of the show.
You know what? My personal favorite was the idea of a timeout chair for audience members who are being disruptive. I'm looking at you, Mom. Honestly, though, we have to say this was a tough decision.
So tough. I mean, there were a lot of good options, but in the end, there was one that stood out from the rest. So take it away, Jacques.
Merci.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, as many of you know, it is the lifelong dream of mine to teach a master's class. In my long year and a half of hosting Temple Tonight, I've amassed a lot of wisdom. And now, for the low price of $180 a year, all of that knowledge can be yours with my new master's class in hosting a late night show. Take a look. That desk, those 24 inches of mahogany are your pulpit, your soapbox, your arena, and your best friend. In this class, you're going to learn a bit about comedy and tragedy, love, war, death, divorce, tennis, sleeping, being awake, nausea, and dizziness. Comedy is all about what you say, but it's also about what you don't say. Landing a joke is actually a lot like landing a plane. Hundreds of people's lives are at stake, and there are dire consequences if you make even a single mistake. Do it right, everyone will clap. Do it wrong, and you'll be investigated by the National Transit Safety Board. That's a monologue joke. A good performer keeps the audience on their toes. As soon as they get complacent, you're burnt toast. Guess what? I've been making tea this whole time. I've watched all 10 seasons of Friends, and if I've learned one thing, it's that if you don't like Monica, you're never gonna make it in this industry. I don't have any plans for retirement. 401k? I can't count that high. Here's an insider tip. At the end of the night, restaurants throw out all their unsold bread. Digital watches, they're for sheep. Wolves go analog. Finding a good doubles partner might seem daunting at first, but here's a tip. Get your hands on their credit card. Buy yourself something nice at Raymore and Flanagan's. Then see how long it takes them to cancel the charge. Only then can you know their reaction time. Find the biggest guy in the yard and beat him up. That's how you get respect. Whiskey, soda, a pinch, paprika, drop of water. That's how you make an old fashioned. Bottoms up. Welcome to my masterclass. Thank you, thank you. If that isn't worth $15, I don't know what is. Our next guest is a student here at Temple University who just returned from a semester abroad in Scotland. Here to tell us a little bit more about Temple, Scotland is Flower Marie. Everybody welcome Flower, please. Nice hat.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Flower.
Thank you so much, Jay. I'm literally so excited to be here.
We're literally so excited to have you. So tell us a little bit more about your experiences. You studied in Scotland?
Jay, the Scots say Scotland.
Okay, yeah, my bad. Can you tell us a bit more about your trip to Scotland?
Yeah, it was pretty typical. I got to see the Loch Ness, I got to go to Glencoe, I got separated from the group for 48 hours, and I ate a bunch of fish and chips.
Okay, hang on a second. Yeah. Did you say that you were separated from the group?
Only for 48 hours, and I used my one phone call to get in contact with the school.
Mm-hmm. So you said you used your one phone call.
Like you did time in prison.
Yeah, Scottish prison. Like I said, it was a pretty typical trip. I saw castles and stuff.
Do you want to talk more about your time in jail?
Not really. It's basically like American jail, except the threats sound way scarier. One day, a Scottish inmate told me to get off his haggis or I'll kill you!
Okay. Did you guys do any traveling outside of Scotland?
Yeah, it was super fun, but once I lost my phone and passport in Ireland, it was game over. I had to tend to a small sheep farm until I could save up enough money to register for new documents. Honestly, the biggest regret is not being able to post how cute I looked in a farmer's outfit.
That was your biggest regret?
I look so good in overalls.
I'm so sure you do. So you went to a Scottish prison. You tended sheep on a farm in Ireland. Did you actually end up getting to do anything that was on the brochure?
You mean like attend classes in a foreign country, make friendships that will last a lifetime while growing as a person and an international citizen of the world?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
No, I mean, it was basically just prisons and sheep farms. I mean, unless you want to hear about the one time
Yes, please tell us anything the audience can use.
Right, okay, well, once I got my papers and got back to Scotland, everyone had gone home for winter break, and I remembered I had only booked a one-way ticket. I was anticipating a big Black Friday ticket blowout, but I was in that pesky prison again, so I missed it. I had to stow away on a cargo hold back on a Delta flight to the US, which when you think about it, is the biggest Black Friday blowout deal of them all.
I mean, I guess.
Honestly, I think I found my new travel buddy.
Oh, I'm never leaving the US again. Also, I'm legally not allowed to.
Cool. Well, that's Flower, everybody. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much for being here, Flower.
All right, welcome back. Our next guests are Charlie Parker and Tyler Needham, the director and director of photography of the film Wailing. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, film's called Wailing. Obviously, first question that comes to mind, what was it like working with whales on set? I mean, not to name names, but I've heard that Shamu can be quite a diva. I don't know. I mean,
We didn't have
there are no.
no
It's the
whales.
sequel, if you didn't know, but
Yeah, but no whales.
So it's not. There's not. It's not
Wailing
about
2 at
whales.
sea. Okay.
It's not about like a hardy crew taking down some whales for some lamp oil.
That was the original script, but
Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
we have made some changes.
It's a little confusing. But so, what is the movie actually about?
It's about a dead grandmother.
Wow. Okay. So, like,
So yeah, it's about our friend Fiona wrote the script, and it's about a family kind of dealing with the decline of their grandmother's health, and then eventually she dies, and it's them kind of coping with that whole process and how that affects each member of the family differently, and how that kind of puts them at odds with each other at certain
Wow.
times.
yeah. So Fiona, for those of you guys who don't know, was actually our head writer before. So I just want to say a quick shout out to Fiona. We miss you.
Shout out Fiona.
Yeah,
Fee.
big shouts. But actually, keeping that in mind, so she wrote the script. How did you guys get involved with that? How did you guys start working on it?
So I am in the directing concentration in film and media arts at Temple, and they asked us all to like come in with scripts prepared, so we could use it as like our thesis.
Gotcha.
But I didn't write anything, so I needed a script, and I knew Fiona is a really great writer, and I just asked her like, hey, do you have any scripts that you would be cool with like somebody else taking the reins on, or like that you aren't going to produce yourself but like want to get produced. So I just reached out to her and she sent me that, and I like fell in love with it immediately. It's
That's
great.
awesome. Yeah.
and I'm in the cinematography concentration for TFMA, and how it worked with our groups was we were matched up with who we wanted to work with, or who the professors thought we matched up best with, style-wise. And originally, Charlie did not have me as his director of photography. He had someone from NYU who was his friend, and he wanted to do. But there's more directors than cinematographers this year. But I was still his first choice, other
Yeah.
than that person,
So
and
match
he was
made in
my
heaven.
first choice.
Right.
But
First choice
at
success.
least,
You
my
got
second
one.
first
at least he
choice.
tells me that. But
That's cool. And so, yeah. So I was just curious. What's you both are kind of specializing in both the roles you had on this set. So, but even so, I'd imagine doing an actual short film is probably a lot of work. What was the hardest
Yeah.
part of the process?
I think it was mostly just organizing, like getting everybody there and back like safely and on time and all that kind of stuff. We shot at a couple different locations. The most of it took place just at a house, but we had some locations that were like, we shot at the Philadelphia International Airport, we shot at like a pharmacy, and so kind of,
Wow.
first of all, getting a permission from them to like shoot
Yeah.
there was really hard. Just communicating and like not knowing if they're gonna respond or if they're gonna say no and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like, well, once you're there, you have the cop who's blocking traffic, so you have to make sure everybody comes in and out, and just kind of logistically, all that stuff is really, really tough. But luckily, we had like a great crew of people who just like were on top of their game and really like came through and made everything happen really smoothly. We were on time pretty
We were
much
on-
all the days, so
we had
yeah.
one night where we had we went over a little over schedule because we had this changing of blocking and
Yeah.
rewriting of the script that happened earlier in the day based on location that we didn't have. And
Yeah.
So how long did filming actually take, and like pre-production, all that stuff? How was-
Filming was 6 days. Yeah, so it was. We picked up all of our equipment and stuff on Monday, shot on Tuesday, and then shot through Sunday, and then returned back again on
Yep.
Monday.
just every day, like.
Yeah, it was.
6
It
days
was
straight.
Yeah, it was
Yep,
tough.
it
It was
was-
like
it was
a week plus of just like 12-hour
the
plus
longest
days.
of any of the projects.
Yeah,
so-
consecutively.
Yeah.
And also, I was kind of curious. I mean, this is a pretty challenging subject matter, I'd imagine, for an actor to kind of tackle. Like grieving is a pretty tough
Yeah.
one. How'd you find actors who were kind of equipped to deal with all this?
So we found most of our actors online through like Backstage.com or just other casting websites. Temple also set up like they hired a casting director and had like a huge audition thing where like 100 people came in and auditioned for us in like front of everybody. That was a little tough to kind of gauge how they were acting because it was like 100 people you have to get in and get out
Yeah.
really quickly. But we actually found our lead actress through that. So we came in, we saw her do like a monologue, and then we just kind of immediately like knew that she was the right person for the character. And then for the other characters, it was more of like asking them to send like a self-tape audition of a scene that we would send them, and then they would send it back and kind of work with them on different parts of it to make sure that they were right for it. And then once we were like confident that they would be right for the character and like be able to perform it well, we would lock them in.
Gotcha.
From my perspective, I didn't have any part to play in casting them or getting them to set, but when they were there, it was amazing to me because we had a lot of characters in this film, and every single one of them was fantastic. The
Yeah,
actors
it's
could
an
not have been
ensemble
better.
cast, so we had like eight main characters.
But
pretty
and for
much.
me, they were also photogenic, and they made my job easy. And they were all great. They were all friendly. So that's a shout out to Charlie and our producer Madison.
Nice.
So.
And so where can we watch the movie? You know, when is it coming out? All that kind of stuff.
So the first screening of it is going to be at TPAC on April 21st, I believe. That'll be like open to the public. It's a screening of like all 8 senior thesis films that are happening in the film program right now.
Nice.
So yeah, April 21st should be a screening that anybody can come to at TPAC, and then hopefully later on we're going to apply to like Diamond Screen, which is early May, I think, and then hopefully more film
Quite a few
festivals if we get
festivals,
in,
yeah.
if it's
That's
actually good. It turns out well and people want to see it.
Yeah. And so is there like a social media page for the movie that people can follow if they're interested?
Yeah, so we do have an Instagram account. Not exactly sure what the name
It's
of
just
it
Wailing
is.
Film.
Just search Wailing Film.
Wailing Film, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll find it Wailing.
Yes. Don't make the mistake
not
I did.
Real whales.
Like I said, that's the sequel.
Yes.
Not real whales. And we also have a Seed and Spark page, which was like our crowdfunding campaign.
Gotcha.
We're not raising any more money, but we're like posting updates on there and just like posting new content of like pictures or videos from set and just like updating it more geared towards people who like financially supported the film, but you can still also go on that page and see more updates about what's going on.
Definitely. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Charlie and Tyler, everybody. And now the sublime comedy stylings of Tyler Woolf.
Hey everybody, how we doing? Okay, it took you a second there to warm up. It's fine. Yeah, my name is Tyler, but I kind of feel like you all could have just guessed that. Doesn't this just scream Tyler? Yeah, no one ever says no when I say that. Everyone's like, yeah, dial it back a little bit, buddy. Like, here's how Tyler my face is if you went to a police sketch artist, not that you would need to, this is gonna go fine, but if you went to one, all you'd need to do is just say my name. They'd be like, and what color was his hair? Oh, you said his name was Tyler? Yeah, we know how to do this one. Go home, don't spend the night at the station, you've had a long day, go back home. I just have a very like generic white face, don't I? Don't I kind of just look like every white guy ever? Yeah, exactly. Like one time someone came up to me and they're like, your name is Tyler? Man, I had you pegged as a Scot. I was like, yeah, that's the same thing. What is this, Family Feud? Show me the name of this generic-looking white boy. Oh, not Scott. Sorry, we were looking for Tyler. Or Colin. Yeah, we would have accepted that too. Like, here's how generic my face is. Like, when I walked up here, a lot of you were probably like, oh my God, I didn't know he did comedy. Oh, no, wait, I don't know who that is. I thought that was the guy from The Office, but... Not The Office, your office, specifically. I know there's like 8 of me that work there. Like, I played a lot of video games growing up, and when you do that, you can create a player. And you can, like, make it look like you by changing all the attributes, and I was always just the first face that popped up. It's just like, oh, great, that's me. Yeah, accept. Let's play the game. Let's do it. Like, if you... I didn't realize that you could change the way it looked until I started having friends over in life. And they were like, oh, different eyes, different nose, different hair. I was like, wow, I didn't even know you can do that in this game. All right, next time I play, I'm not just going to be your average white guy. I'm going to be a white guy with blonde hair. Let's mix it up, you know? All right, who we got in the audience? Lovers or fighters? Clap if you consider yourself a fighter. All right, gaining confidence a little bit. Were the lovers taking note of who to avoid after the show? That's why I do that. It's for your safety. I recently found out that I was a lover. Yeah, if you're not sure what you are, just get in a fight. If you lose, you're a lover. That's how it works. I was getting choked out in this fight. I was losing, I think you could say. And it was so bad that I fainted. I just went like completely limp. And afterwards, all my friends were like, why didn't you just tap out of the fight? You could have just tapped out. I was like, because I didn't realize that was an option in a street fight. Timeout, yeah, that was fun, but I think I'm going to go now. That was fun. Good time. Also, I was born and raised in Philadelphia. I'm not about to tap out of a fight. This is a town where Eagles fans beat each other up over who's the bigger fan. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to tap out of a fight. Tapping out is a sign of losing. And my friends were like, you know what's a bigger sign of losing? Your forehead hitting the pavement. I'm Tyler, I'm a lover, thank you.
That's our show. Thank you to Tyler Woolf. Thank you to Charlie Parker and to Tyler Needham. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.